In this video, I'm discussing the very first step that I took in order to start my recruiting agency. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Natasha, the business recruiter. Welcome back to my channel. So when you're just starting out, there are a ton of steps that you need to take into consideration in order to get your recruiting agency business off the ground. In this video, I'm going to dive deep into the very first step that I took, which was actually finding my business name. Now, while this may seem like a very simple step, there's actually a lot of other things and nuances that goes into it. For me, the biggest thing was finding a business name that was not already taken by another business. But before we dive into actually going about checking how to make sure that your business name is not taken, the very first step that you need to do is actually come up with a name. So how do you actually come up with a business name? Well, for me, more than anything else, it really came down to something that was going to be simple, concise, and easy to remember. I didn't want an extremely long name because I didn't want the name to be hard to remember. You also want to keep in mind that your business name is ultimately going to be the domain that's going to be associated with your professional email, and you don't want an extremely long email address. Now, if you're like me and maybe you had some trouble actually thinking of something that was going to be professional as well as concise, then there are a ton of name generators out there that you can actually leverage in order to figure out your business name. One of the generators out there that I have leveraged and have found to be actually pretty helpful is called Namelix. And Namelix allows you to be able to break it down into how many words you want, what do you really want the feel of your business name to be, and then it'll use artificial intelligence to then generate a bunch of different names that you can choose from. Now, most of the names that it generates should be names that are available. However, you want to make sure that you actually go about checking to make sure that your name is available before you commit to signing up for an LLC or any other business structure. So my second step in regards to how I actually went about making sure that my name was not taken was to check the domain name. And you can actually go about doing this in a very simple and easy process. So I'm going to actually screen share and show you how to go about that process. Okay, so we are actually on GoDaddy.com, and this is the website, my go-to website that I always use when I'm checking to see if a business name is available before I do any other steps. So we're going to go through just a couple examples so that you get a feel of how you can actually go about searching it. We're going to actually go about searching my business name, the Business Recruiter, to see exactly what pops up. Okay, so as you can see, GoDaddy has showed you that my business name, thebusinessrecruiter.com, is actually taken at this point. It does allow you to pay for a broker fee, and basically what that broker fee is that you are paying someone to see if I would be interested in selling my name. I'm not interested in selling the Business Recruiter name, but if you're really gung-ho about making sure that the name that you've chosen, that you can actually secure it and get it, and you're almost married to that name, so to say, then it could be helpful for you to do a broker service fee in order to try to see if you can get the name. But keep in mind, it's not guaranteed. Now, what GoDaddy will go ahead and do though is offer you alternatives. So let's say you really wanted the Business Recruiter, but the businessrecruiter.com is not available. It'll give you alternatives such as the businessrecruiter.org, which is available. Or if you scroll down here, you'll see that there are other .net, .store, .co that actually are available. Or what I have found to also be another trick in regards to a business name, if the original one is taken, you can actually add an S to make your business name plural. So for example here, the businessrecruiters.com is actually available for purchase. So it's one of those things where do what's best for you. But if you get into a situation where you find out that the business name that you really wanted is taken, then just continue to have iterations, or this is where a second, third, fourth, maybe even fifth choice really comes in handy when it comes to business names. That way, if one is taken, then you can move on to the next. So let's say the businessrecruiter.com, you search it, you know it's taken, you don't want to go ahead with that name. But let's say you wanted to do something else. Let's say, for example, you wanted to do GoRecruiters.com. Now, GoRecruiters.com is available, but as you can see, it comes with a hefty price tag. And this is because these types of names are considered to be very popular in that you can see that it's 15 characters or less. So it's super concise, really easy to remember, and it's just really catchy. So these names are going to cost you a lot more. Keep in mind that when you're choosing a business name, you want to keep it as simple as possible, especially when it comes to the price as well. So you don't want to start out with having a $4,000 domain name unless you're in a position where you can actually pay for it, or if that name just means a ton to you and you really want that name, then go ahead, by all means. If you have the funds, then go ahead and pay for it. But I don't find that to be necessary. This is another example of when it's best for you to then move on to your third option or to check out the alternatives that are available. Okay, so GoDaddy always tends to be my go-to, but keep in mind that there are other domain checkers out there that you can leverage. I think Namecheap.com is another one where you can go through that same process that you would on GoDaddy. Keep in mind that Namecheap should populate the same results as GoDaddy, but because GoDaddy is such a popular domain purchase site, I always tend to go to that one when I'm looking to check a domain name. The last thing that I'll leave you with in regards to a business name is to ensure that you do not limit yourself. So even if you are going to focus, let's say, on tech recruiting, I would advise against putting anything in regards to tech in your actual business name. That just means that you won't be in a situation down the line where, let's say, you want to expand into nursing. You wouldn't be able to easily do that because now you have the techrecruiters.com as your business name. Make sure that you keep the end goal in mind at all times, even with the first step of creating your business name. It's only going to help you in regards to being able to expand into other industries down the line if you choose to. And whether or not you actually do it, you just want to make sure that you leave the door open and don't close it in the very beginning. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also, if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, then be sure to go down below and do that. Hit that subscribe button as well as that bell because I'm dropping videos every week and I want to ensure that you're able to get notified of when I do. Also, if you are not in my Facebook group, then be sure to go down below to the description box so that you can join. We are in there talking all things recruiting. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.